before I start this video, I need to make two things clear. One, my next Fifth Monkey video is going to take a while to be made because I cannot find any articles to read because Rolling Stones wants me to pay for that shit. I'm not doing that. And also, there's a podcast that talked about Andrew Sandoval, so I feel like I might redirect you to that instead. Two, I will be making a video about autism soon. Now you're thinking, Amy, you're not really qualified. And I have Asperger's. I'm on the spectrum. I am on the autism spectrum. And there's a reason why I want to talk about it. Because, it leads into two things, that video. But that won't happen until I, gather everything I need, if that makes sense. And another thing, I made a poll on my community post asking you guys if I should make a video about Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez, and most of you said yes, so that will also be coming soon. It's just that I need to also gather some things for that, so let's start the video. On November 6th, 1968, the Monkees left TV to make their own movie with the help of Bob Rafelson and Jack Nicholson, as well as Bert Schneider. The movie doesn't really have a plot, but if I could make up a plot, it's the Monkees realizing their formula doesn't work in the movie screen, and they're stuck in a loop for all eternity. The reason why I'm mentioning this movie is because it has gone through a lot of changes. So, the movie wasn't originally an hour long. There's an uncut version in Bob Rafelson's house, but we're obviously never going to get that because he's dead. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video about Head and its changes is one specific song. One specific song that could have changed everything about Mike Nesmith. Why am I mentioning Mike Nesmith? Here's the song. That's right. This song, Daddy's Song, was never Davy's song. This song, written by Harry Nilsson, was Mike's song. This song was Mike's. So, what happened? So, in order to discuss exactly what we didn't get from, Mike not doing Daddy's song, I have pulled up all of the changes to the Monkees script Head, the Head script, and I'm going to read to you, okay, right here. So, I'm going to start reading, and you guys are going to listen. So, note the presence on page 54 of the added scene 191A, describing how Davy doesn't get sucked into the vacuum cleaner with the others. Although it's entirely possible that earlier drafts had all four Monkees consigned to the interior, it's more likely a case of emphasizing which of the Monkees was to resist the suction to go AWOL. It certainly appears to be the case that, up until the January 24 rewrites at least, this particular storyline didn't belong to Davy Jones, but to Mike Nesmith. Now, the original plan would have been to have Davy, Peter, and Mickey sucked into the womb of the vacuum cleaner while Mike remained in the tube. After escaping, he would perform his own composition, Magnolia Sims, hence its presence in the script, and encountering the cowman before eventually being reunited with the others. So, a bit of clarification here. Magnolia Sims was a comparably new song at the time, recorded on December 2nd, 1967, 2 weeks before the first draft of changes was completed. But its presence in the script, not to mention it being the only instance of a genuine Monkey song being name-checked, suggests it was already something of an in-house favorite. This didn't last long, however. The song would soon be dropped from the movie, eventually finding release on the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees LP, released in April 1968. In its place came the Harry Nilsson song, Daddy's Song, recorded on January 10th, 1968, with Mike Nesmith on lead vocals. It isn't known though whether the filmmakers considered it a better play song per se, or simply a more apt song production for the kind of scene they had in mind for the movie. Whatever the case, Mike's big song and dance showcase is ready to go. And then it's suddenly decided that Davy Jones will perform the song instead. As Nesmith himself recalled on the Criterion commentary, that was a heartbreaker for me. I really, really wanted to do that dance sequence. And by the way, I still do. I want to do that dance sequence. I wanted to take the dancing lessons. I was crazy about Harry. He was, the real thing. And he was a great friend and partier and so forth. I loved the song. It had all those terrific Nielsen beats to it. But I was all ready to do it. I was so ready to get out there and samba and boogie across the silver screen. And I wanted to do it so bad. And Bob had said, okay, great, we'll do it. And I was just over the moon. And then he said, no, I'm going to want Davy to do it. Because Davy's a song and dance man, and he can really pull this off. And, well, it broke my heart. But you know what? He was right. Davy's the song, and he can really dance, man. For me, it was an aspiration. For him, it was a vocation. And so, as with Can You Dig It, the lead vocals of Daddy's song are replaced with those of an alternate band member, in this case, Davy Jones. However, whereas Can You Dig It was a self-contained segment within the film, the switchover in Daddy's song naturally involved the protagonist of the surrounding storyline strands being switched too, most likely with a couple of minor script amendments. One of presume, for example, that the human pyramid performed inside the vacuum cleaner certainly didn't originally have Davy Jones claiming to be the tallest and the strongest. The switch arguably changed the dynamic of the plot somewhat, since the film now boasted 2 sequences in a row in which the band lose Davy and attempt to find him, the second occurring mere minutes after they're reunited. The original version of Daddy's song with Mike Nesmith vocal remained in the vaults, unloved, until it was included as a bonus cut on Rhino's CD release of the Head soundtrack. Now, look, I say that, maybe they could have salvaged this. Maybe there could have been a way for them to somehow fix this. My stupid little idea is that instead of Tony Basil dancing with Davy, they could have gotten Mike. Or Davy could have been Tony, and Mike could have still done the dance. Either way, I've heard the Mike version of Daddy's song, and you know what? I like Mike's version because Davy's feels like so Broadway. And I guess that's the point, because Davy was on Broadway. Davy's a Broadway actor. Davy has done Broadway. But I don't know if this song necessarily suits Davy. I mean, yes, I think Davy's dad died around the time they were filming Head, and you could argue that this could be Davy's song. But people seem to forget one key detail. Mike never had a dad. Mike's father left him when he was very young, so he never had a father figure. This is literally Mike's song. The lyrics tell how this little boy's father left him. And a little boy gets bitter and decades that when he grows up, his son will never know that sadness. That's literally Mike, because Davy doesn't have a son. Davy had a daughter. Mike had Christian. Christian was his son, and Mike did not. I can guarantee you that Mike did not want Christian to end up like him somehow, even though Mike would end up cheating on Phyllis with this lady named Norwood and have Jason. But I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm just saying my point is that this is what the lyrics are. The lyrics are basically all about Mike. They're not about Davy, because Davy had a father in his life, and he had him until his dad died. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this was a Davy Jones song, more of a Mike Nesmith song. It's kind of like how Can You Dig It isn't necessarily a Mickey Dolenz song, but a Peter Tork song. I guess you could say the same thing for I Pray Thee Did Not Ask for Love, because that was in 33 1/3 per Revolutions per Monkey, and that song was originally in their second album, sung by Mickey, but Peter sang it in the special, which I don't know if there's an album for the special, but I would assume there is official recording of it, somewhere. But I'm basically rambling at this point. screen, you could see this drawing I found on Tumblr that this artist made. You could see their name on the screen too. This is what we couldn't have got. This is what we could have gotten. We could have gotten this, and we never will get this. They never ever filmed Mike doing this. They only filmed his vocals, but they never ever filmed him doing this. So I don't even think this is lost media because Mike was never able to film that scene. Not all hope is lost, I think. I'm taking it upon myself to somehow animate Daddy's song with Mike Nesmith's vocals instead of Davy's. Although my other plan was to do the duet that I found and make them both in the song. Either way, I want Mike to do this, and you know, I'm honoring him somehow by doing this. And keep in mind, I haven't even finished my Me and Magdalena animation yet, so that's gonna take a while to, you know, get into the meat and potatoes of it. But you know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
Years ago I knew a man